Welcome back to In the Shade, a platform bringing awareness to BIPOC folks that have been murdered or gone missing, and also people of color who have been accused and convicted of committing heinous crime. I'm Isabel.
And Jenny, and this is our 16th episode. Woohoo! So for our quick summary today, it is again another hometown murder. It is based out of Pflugerville, Texas, which is a suburb of Austin, Texas. And in January of 2022, we found out, well, we as in the world, found out that Camerina Trujillo Perez, she was unfortunately killed by her boyfriend, Luis Angel Montes, and he is still on the run today.
Boo.
Boo, fuck him.
Okay, so unfortunately we don't have too much information about Camerina, but what we do know is that she was a 38-year-old mother and unfortunately leaves behind 2 daughters and a son. The suspect, as Jenny already said, is Luis Angel Montes, who's 35 years old, and both of them were reported missing on January 25th by their family members.
He should fucking know better with his, like at that point, like, you're 35, you should know from, like, right from wrong. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. So, Camerina's daughter said that her mom and Luis, again, Luis is a boyfriend, had been dating for some time, like, past that point of, like, getting to know each other. Like, they're, it's a vibe, full-on relationship. But she said they had a troubled relationship because, so their daughter was told that in the past, if Camerina's boyfriend, Luis, that if she was to ever leave him, that he would kill her or do something stupid. Okay, that's a red flag number 1. Mm-hmm. The daughter also told investigators that she believed Luis was tracking her mom, which is like absolutely terrifying because for several months, he would show up to places unannounced. Like he would just pop up and be like, hey, how are you? I'm here. And it's like, wait, how would you even know I'm here if I'm not sharing my location with you? Obviously, like there's some type of tracking device on my car or like an air tag or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they thought that he was definitely tracking by some type of device. Obviously, like again, we said in the car, like whether it's on the car, I don't even know.
Or he's maybe like influencing someone who she's hanging out with.
Oh yeah, like for
like,
sure.
Just tell me.
Just tell me, or
tell me every time she shows up or whatever.
Oh, that makes sense. Could also possibly be like somebody close to her who shares a location, and he could be like this sad guy. Like I'm worried about her. She's involved with bad people. Yeah. Like just like making up like some bullshit, but. Again,
he definitely was controlling.
Definitely controlling. And again, we don't know exactly how long they've been dating and if they were still in a relationship at the time, like that he murdered her. But we do know that it was like a troublesome relationship for sure.
Yeah. There's definitely a bunch of red flags.
Yeah, so many red flags.
So let's get into the crime. So on January 24th of this year, so a couple of months ago, reports say that Luis saw Camerina in a supermarket with another person and that she was hugging and kissing them.
Do you believe him?
I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I wasn't able to find anything about, like, whether they were still together at the time of the crime or whether they were broken up.
We have no idea.
Or whether they decided to have an open relationship or something. We just don't know. But we also don't know if he really did see her.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't really specify who said that they saw them or how they know that he saw them. Right. So, that's a little bit unclear. But the person, the report said that Luis looked sad and upset after seeing Camerina in the store with that other person, but he didn't seem angry and did not make threats towards the two at the supermarket at that time.
Which is so interesting because, like, if I, like, was to see, like, my significant other or whoever that I'm, like, in love with, and, like, or, like, with him saying, like, oh, I'll kill you, do something stupid, you think that, like, if he was that outraged, he would, like, go up and, like, say something? Like, remember that show Cheaters?
No, but I feel like I would love it.
Oh my God, you would love it. It is like old school, like 90s. You remember like the show where it was like, like the police show and it'd be like bad boys. Like, anyways, but it was like terrible footage. Anyways, Cheaters was kind of like that. So, like, but what they would do, they would pop up on people when they knew they were cheating. So, like, these people would do like investigate like alleged person that was cheating, and they would like pop up.
I love that.
And it was like, it's total trash TV. I mean, like,
I would love it.
like you would definitely like it.
Yeah.
And it's like 90s vibe. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is like they would like pop up and like confront the person, and so you get like a real life like action of like, oh my gosh, she's cheating.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm thinking if you're like would potentially kill her and you're like that confident to say it, that you would be super confident being like, I'm gonna call you out, like I'm gonna call you and your new boo out. But I don't know.
Yeah,
that was off topic, but yeah.
No, I like that. I do need to watch that show now, too.
You do. It's like,
my gosh, I love all those shows. Like,
it's
I
like
recently like watched Catfish again.
oh my gosh,
It's
like the
still-
old school Catfish.
They're still making episodes.
I know they're still making episodes like the new girl, but I mean like the old school with like Max, like with like, or are you watching like recent episodes?
I watched it like maybe last year or something.
Oh, okay.
But it was still the original guy, like Neve.
Oh, Neve, yep, Neve. Yeah, he has a new
Yeah.
partner now. Like, I forgot her name, but it used to be Neve and Max. But it's just
Yeah,
like,
the like white-haired
yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Isn't that interesting that people still get catfish? Like, at that point, like, there's so
Have we
many
not learned?
I know, like, but we have, so, like, we're both millennials. We're like a very social media driven people. So when I see
we
people
know how
our
to
age,
like sleuth too.
yeah, and so like if you're like gonna catch someone, like especially like on the sly, like a red flag for me if like we still haven't, let's say I'm meeting someone on a dating app and like we still haven't like FaceTimed or chatted, like something's
It's
up. It's like
I'm not gonna believe that your phone is broken.
exactly like in
Like-
2022,
like-
if your phone is still broken, like at that
borrow
point,
your friend's phone, or you
Yeah.
know, like if push comes to shove and your phone is really broken and you don't have the money to fix it, like you can go to the library,
Right.
borrow a laptop or something there, or
Yeah.
you can, I don't know. There's ways.
There's ways, but I guess also too, like we've been fortunate to have like that exposure. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
then I think about a lot of people. I just thought about this now. A lot of people may not have may just think that this is normal, especially if they like. Because there was one girl I'm thinking about in Catfish.
Yeah.
She was like bullied, and she like would just come home and like be an internet thug. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like catfishing like almost like 100+ like people, and so it was just kind of like so interesting, like to kind of like see what people that may not have like had our exposure kind of like be doing. I don't know. Maybe I'm like overthinking it, but it's just like a really interesting.
It's similar to the Anthony Robinson case.
Oh,
from a
yeah.
couple weeks ago,
Mhm.
where the older woman was killed because she met up with someone on social media.
That's right.
And then
It's just like
she got killed and put in a shopping
I
cart.
just like don't understand why like I don't know. Just like
Yeah.
don't do that. Don't be like an internet. Like I don't know. Don't do that. But then again, it's like don't.
Watch Catfish.
Yeah, watch
It's very
Catfish.
educational.
Or listen to our podcast and hear how the amount of people that have meeting online has not gone well.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Back to the case. So apparently he didn't like go up to them and cause a scene, but
Punk.
cell phone data revealed that Lewis did call Camerina repeatedly after seeing her in the supermarket. So it did create some kind of reaction if
Right.
he's like repeatedly calling her.
Yeah.
And so Lewis and Camerina met up the next morning at around 5 a.m. on January 25th at a local bank in, I think it was in Cedar Park, which is also like a suburb of
She
Austin.
better get her money.
I know, but also who meets up anywhere at 5 a.m.?
I don't know, because
I don't
bitch, I
know.
want to sleep. What the fuck?
Yeah. But it's not clear from the reports that we reviewed whether the cell phone data showed that they made plans to meet up at
Right.
5 in the morning at a bank,
Oh, okay.
or whether he was still kind of tracking her.
Okay.
But surveillance video of the bank, or from the bank, showed both of their cars pulling into the parking lot that morning around 5, and that was the last time Camerina was seen alive.
That's crazy. That is like just so sad, but
Yeah.
like he's a fool. But court documents reveal that the surveillance video showed Lewis repeatedly assaulting Camerina to the point that caused her death. Like, so, like, it almost kind of makes you wonder, like, did he meet up at 5 a.m. because there wasn't a lot of, like, traffic at that time? I mean, it's, like, Pflugerville, 5 a.m. So, I don't, like, or I guess, sorry, Cedar Park, 5 a.m. And there's not, like, that much traffic.
bus line up there.
Yeah, it's not bussing, you know what I mean? Like it's not like lit and like everyone's like,
sorry, Cedar Park.
I know, and that's where my sister lives too. So it's like, I just don't foreseeing that. Like that just part was weird to us. But near where they parked their cars, a pool of blood was found, which again is just kind of weird to me too, because you felt that confident to beat her to death in like a public area and then leave blood. You could just tell that he was a criminal that didn't know what he was doing.
And also at a bank.
Bank.
You know there's going to be cameras.
Hell yeah. Like, it's a fucking bank.
Yeah.
Like, there's probably a camera, like, literally on the ground. We don't even know about
every,
it.
like, 2 inches.
Yeah, every, like, crevice has, like, 5 million cameras. So, it's just, like, you could just tell he didn't know what he was doing. So then, crime scene investigators said the amount of blood was substantial and that it could cause serious bodily injury or death, which makes sense because going back to the video footage, literally showing that like he beat her so bad that it caused her death. So I don't know, that was interesting. But then also too on the surveillance video, it shows that Lewis then drove Camerina's car away from the scene while her lifeless body was still in the car. So you're telling me that he's going to kill her in a bank with hella cameras, leave a pile of and since he beat her so bad, left so much blood, and then take her car and then drive off, and we're never gonna find him. Like, you know, it's just like, and we're never gonna find out who did it. It just didn't make any sense to me. But
I feel like it would make more sense for him to drive his car away.
Yeah.
Because
we're gonna be on
if
the
his
lookout.
car is there, they're immediately gonna know like he did it.
Yeah. Versus like driving her car, which like just you could just tell like this was just like sloppy. Like he just didn't know what he was doing, which is interesting. Yeah. But anywho, that was like weird. But police believe that he drove to Lake Pflugerville to dispose of or conceal evidence of the murder. Do you know where Lake Pflugerville is?
I didn't even know Pflugerville had a lake.
I knew it had a lake, but I just don't know where that bitch is. I have no idea. If anyone knows,
it's somewhere east.
Yeah, somewhere east. We don't know. If you know, let us know. So
is it nice?
I don't know. Is it nice? Can we go swimming? Well, let us know. So authorities said the Perez's vehicle had reportedly been seen January 27th traveling north through Temple. That's far as fuck. That's like what? That's almost 2 hours. Like,
yeah,
right?
2-3 hours.
That's 2-3 hours.
I also wonder, so did he come back for his car? Did somebody come back for his car?
Did someone come back for his car, or was he just like gonna let it chill? I don't know. That part doesn't
if they saw his vehicle going through Temple, then...
Or I wonder if he left the keys in the car for someone to steal. I mean, it is Cedar Park, so I don't know how many people are really stealing cars from a bank. You know what I mean? But it kind of makes you from a bank, so it makes you kind of wonder, like,
next to a pool of blood.
Yeah, next to a pool of blood. So it makes me wonder, like, maybe he like literally, if they think that like he went towards Lake Pflugerville, I wonder if he like drove her car into the lake, and then was like, but then he had to walk all the way back to Cedar Park, and like you said, Pflugerville is east and Cedar Park is north. So that part, like, I don't know or Pflugerville,
It's like Cedar Park, then Round Rock,
Georgetown,
then
Pflugerville. That's why I'm like,
I think
that's like weird to me because you have like you said, Cedar Park, and then you have like you said, Round Rock, and then Georgetown right behind, and then you have like Pflugerville all the way to the east. That's what I don't get. But anyways, fuck him.
But yeah, so on January 25th, Lewis's family reported him missing to the police. And on the same day, Camerina's coworkers also came looking for her because she obviously did not show up for work. So her family then also reported her missing on the 25th, just hours after the couple was last seen in Pflugerville.
Okay.
And then, maybe the bank was in Pflugerville. It wasn't in Cedar Park. Maybe I'm misremembering. But one day later, on January 26th, so a day after they were reported missing, the police sent out a clear alert, that's CLEAR, in connection with their disappearance. And it was issued to trigger the public's help in finding the missing couple.
Okay.
The clear alert, which this part's interesting, it expired 3 days later.
Also, too, I forgot to ask you. So, it's like, what exactly is a clear alert? Like, is it for, is it similar to like Amber Alert?
Yeah, so
Okay.
Clear Alert is similar to an Amber Alert. It was created by Texas legislation in 2019 to kind of close the gap between missing children and senior citizen.
Okay, cool.
And CLEAR stands for Coordinated Law Enforcement Adult Rescue.
Okay.
And yeah, again, the goal is to assist law enforcement in locating and rescuing missing, kidnapped, or abducted adults, or adults who are in immediate danger of injury or death.
Okay, cool.
In addition to also finding like suspects.
It's so interesting that it like expires.
That is interesting.
'Cause it's
if you
like-
know why they expire,
Yeah, let us know.
let us know. I would understand they would expire if like the person is found, but I don't understand why you would randomly put a expiration date on
Yeah,
like
'cause-
a notice.
Yeah, because if I'm dead, I'm dead. Like, you know what I mean? If like, you know what I mean? Like, if like if it's seen like on camera, like it's just weird because this only happened in January.
Yeah.
So it's like still like super recent, you know. But I was just curious about that.
But yeah, and then within 5 days of them gone missing, the direction of the investigation did shift from a missing person search to a murder investigation.
So fascinating. It's just like, I don't know, like how it's just really interesting. But I am down to talk about the latest updates. What are your kind of thoughts? Okay, so Camerina's body was found in her car in a commercial Pflugerville parking lot almost 3 weeks later on February 15th, which is absolutely like just disgusting how you could love somebody so much and be so mad that they're moving on, but you want to kill them and then be like, okay, I'm going to leave you here and go about my life and go on the run, which like doesn't make any sense because it's like, was the love truly ever there? Or was it just like jealousy?
It's like just ownership.
Yeah, like because again, we still treat women
like property.
So just want to put that out there. But police reported that it appeared she had been dead for a few weeks, which is very unfortunate, especially because like it's just sad because like her lifeless body was just by herself, you know, like it was just in a parking lot. Like that's
he
how
didn't allow his family or her family to like reconnect with her body
or like anything. And it's just like that part is like so, I don't know, so fucked up. But again, officials are still waiting on the final cause and manner of death, which we all know that the police move slow as fuck, and they definitely move slow as hell when you're a person of color. So are we surprised by that statement? No. So Travis County, good old Travis County Sheriff's Department deputies are actively investigating how long Camerina's vehicle was in that parking lot and how it came to be there. Because I guess I don't know. That part is just like so interesting to me that it's taking this long. And I don't know, it's just like kind of weird because there's cameras like everywhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
why can't we like connect all these data points? I don't know.
And like, I don't know, again, depending on like what year her car is, but I found this out last week from my coworker. My coworker got her car her fiance's car got stolen, and Subarus after like the first 3 years, but for the first 3 years, there's a tracking device. So if someone steals your car, they like know where it is. Oh. So that's why I was like kind of found that to be like interesting. But anyway, that's just like a little fun fact because she got her car stolen in Philadelphia.
She had a 2014 blue Chevy Sonic.
I feel like then it probably wouldn't have like a tracking device, right? 2014, maybe. Yeah, maybe. But since the February 15th statement, no updates have been made, unfortunately. And Lewis is they're still looking for him. He's still on the run, and his bail is set to $1 million. So if you see him, please let us know because we need to get this MFer in jail. Because like that's kind of terrifying too that like he's just like on the run and he could be disguising as like anybody, and it's just kind of like it's just kind of like scary and messed up, you know what I mean? Because we have a picture of what he looks like, but it's not like I have a picture of him tattooed on my arm. You can be like, oh, is that Lewis?
Yeah.
Is that him? So that part's like super terrifying. Yeah. But yeah, how can we bring her, you know, this to justice? How can we help her family out?
So yeah, we definitely would love your help to help find this guy. So just keep an eye out. And if you do have any tips or anything like that, you can call the Travis County Sheriff's Department tip line at 512-854-1444 or call Crime Stoppers at 512-472-8477. And Montes is a 35-year-old man with black hair and brown eyes, believed to weigh about 220 pounds and is 6 feet and 1 inch tall.
Also, too, don't go up to every person that is of Hispanic or Latino descent and start accusing them of it being Luis, because then you will be a motherfucking Karen, and we ain't got time for that shit.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Thank you. So, don't do that, hoes.
And one other thing that we just briefly wanted to chat about is kind of like we already touched on some of the red flags in their relationship and his claim to kill himself or her if she ever left, and his surprise visits that are unannounced. And we really just want to highlight the problem that is domestic abuse. And, just keep your eyes open. There's a lot of domestic abuse is on the rise, and it's happening at a prolific rate, especially in Texas. 1 in 3 Texans face domestic abuse. And this, intimate partner homicides have increasingly have been rising, especially during the pandemic. There's been, I believe, a 23% increase from 2019 to 2020 in women in Texas that were killed by their male intimate partners. So in 2019, it was 184. And then in 2020, it was 228. So, just be safe out there. If you feel like you are in a abusive relationship, you can visit the Texas Advocacy Project website if you're here in Texas, and you can call 1-800-374-HOPE. And if you're outside of Texas, you can obviously get in touch with the National Domestic Violence Hotline at any hour.
Yeah, and also too, make sure you let your people know. Make sure if and I know it's so hard to say how somebody else should feel or how someone else should approach being in a domestic relationship, because that's not for me to say how you should deal with this traumatic situation. But at least kind of let your close friends know that have an idea, and let people know that for example, in the situation that he threatened to kill her, because it's really, really sad to know that he said that to her. And I don't know if her family knew that he was that crazy that he would kill her. People will be oh, I love you so much, I'll kill you. But it's no, this man legitimately is willing to take my life. Because I had I just can't imagine. So it just makes you kind of wonder, damn. And
take the red flags serious.
Yeah, take the red flags so seriously. If anyone's controlling, being abusive, or just in general, you just notice things that are not right, or they feel unusual. I was listening to a podcast on the way here. I kid you not. Do you ever listen to Call Her Daddy podcast?
I haven't.
Oh my gosh. It's actually it's pretty good. Anyways, I like the Call Her Daddy podcast, but I was listening to one of her episodes and she had a guest on and was talking about if you're in a relationship and it was and it's you're a couple months into it and you still have butterflies, don't ignore those butterflies, because it's actually anxiety. Because this girl was in an a relationship and she kind of it ended up being an abusive relationship, but she described it as butterflies, because she always felt like she had to be perfect or whatever. But yeah, those butterflies can also be a sign of anxiety, and it's just a situation that you should totally get out of, or something just doesn't feel right. I know I've been talking to people and I'm this just our energy's not the same. This is not matching, right? So it's just kind of be aware of that and just let your people know. Shit, I share my location with a bunch of my friends. So
Yeah.
just let
Be
people
safe
know.
out there, and just know that people are out there who are willing to help,
Yeah.
and you're not on your own.
Yeah, exactly. People are willing to help. Don't feel like you're alone or you're by yourself, because we got you. But just make sure to protect yourself and be mindful of these scary people. Yeah, that's what I'm like realizing too, is like you cannot trust everybody, unfortunately. Even sometimes people that you love, you know, like you just cannot trust them, unfortunately, especially like in situations like this. But it seemed like she was on her way to try to leave him if he like said he saw her at a grocery store. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like
she was trying to get out of it, maybe.
She was trying to get out, especially if she's like in public, like in a town that she lives in, and she's like, oh, you know, like kissing and hugging.
It's a small
somebody.
town.
It's a small town, and people are like kissing and hugging up on you in public. Like she was letting the world be known, like that man is not my, like Luis is not my man anymore. So it kind of just like, I don't know, makes you kind of like wonder, like, was he just not ready? He was not ready to let it go.
For sure.
But she was like
severely butthurt.
Yeah. And that's like terrifying to know that people like, they was like tracking her. Like that's the part that's like so scary, is like you just never know. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just never know like what's going on. Cause I know for me, I'm happy as hell. I just got my cameras installed in my house. I know you have cameras, and it's just like such like a peace of mind, something like that, like small.
Totally.
But also too, it's just kind of like, damn, like, but then you go as like a step further and track my car. Like, you can't even be safe in your own car. Like, what the fuck? So I don't know. That man's crazy.
Yep.
But do you have any other thoughts about this case?
No. Just be safe out there.
Yeah, be safe, and again, just let your people know if you feel unsafe.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We're in the shade.